And the aim and goal of Scientology is to take an individual or a group, and by taking the individuals in the group, put them in a position where they can confront their own problems and solve their own problems, and so bring themselves up by their own bootstraps. The more you try to help man physically, apparently the less progress you make. It was only when we began to treat man, and when I began to treat man, as a spiritual being who was not really dependent upon the body or the flesh, that I made any progress at all.
When people think of Scientology, most people haven't got a clue what it is, and even if you try to ask a Scientologist, you get different answers, but what they very clearly want to get over to you is, it nearly in a fanatical sense, is that it's a religion.
Well, my brother was involved before I was, and then my wife got involved, so I went along to collect my wife one day, and I was asked to go in for the free personality test, which I did. Got a free cup of coffee out of them, and by the end of that day I'd spent next month's mortgage money, and I was on my way to becoming a Scientologist.
What is Scientology? I would say, first of all, it is a esoteric form of Gnosticism. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm a trained theologian and student of religion, as is Gerard Ryan. He should be able to help you with that.
Scientology is obviously one of the newer faiths that has come into being over the last 100 years or so. We teach that each person is a spiritual being. So how can that spiritual being improve, become more of a spiritual being, and so on? From our point of view, the spirit is immortal. It cannot be killed, it cannot die, but it can be damaged and it can be harmed. From our point of view, you have to address the spiritual trauma in your life. You have to lead a more ethical life, and you have to train and understand the human condition. What are human beings? You know, what are the pitfalls of human beings? How we screw up, how we can redeem ourselves in some way. So, as the main parts of our spiritual practice is the counselling that we do, and there's training courses that we do.